Now at 10, two local companies come together for a volunteer service at the Ronald McDonald House of the 4 states. Plus, the Shoal Creek Conservation Center hosts a superhero nature walk. And we take a look at how some schools in the U.S. are battling cell phone usage in the classroom.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Police in Lamar, Missouri arrest a teenager accused of stabbing another teen after last night's home football game against Hollister. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Elise Snowy. And they say the incident happened by the football stadium as players were walking back to the locker rooms after the game, though the victim was not a player. The victim was flown to a hospital and is currently in stable condition. Police have not said how many suspects there are, but that they are all minors, and none of them are students of Lamar or Hollister. One of those suspects is in custody for first-degree assault. On Friday, the Supreme Court declined to revive a controversial law in Missouri that bars local police from helping enforce certain federal gun laws. The Second Amendment Preservation Act imposes a $50,000 in penalties for assisting with the enforcement of federal laws that the state's General Assembly believes may be unconstitutional. However, it does allow state agencies to assist with enforcing federal laws involving felony crimes. Meteorologist Sam Lane joins us for a first look at weather.
All right, thank you very much, Elise. It's been a beautiful day across the 4 states, lots of sunshine. However, we are starting to see some clouds moving in from the south and west, and that's in association with the remnants of Hurricane Norma that hit Cabo San Lucas. That is now starting to stream up towards the north and east, and that's going to have an impact on our forecast as we go through time. But tonight we're going to see mostly fair skies with temperatures in the 50s, dropping down to about 50 degrees by tomorrow morning. So if you're heading out to service in the morning, temperature of around 52 degrees with increasing clouds. And then as you come home for lunchtime, we're looking at a temperature of 73 degrees with partly cloudy conditions. And looking down the lane, it's going to be sunny for your Sunday. Increasing clouds on Monday. Thunderstorms roll in by Tuesday with some widespread rain across our entire region as we go through the middle part of the week, and I'll have the details on that coming up in just a bit.
All right, thanks, Sam. We'll see you soon. Two major companies came together to help beautify the place hundreds of families temporarily call home. KOAM's Jasmine Knight has this story from the Ronald McDonald House of the 4 states.
When you have a loved one in the hospital, especially a young child, it is important for the support system to always be nearby, whether it be for crucial decisions or just for hugs.
When we do that, we try to get as many volunteers for each initiative, and Ronald McDonald is one of those that we continue to have an annual effort for that. And so we campaign as much as we possibly can to get as many volunteers out to help here locally.
Today at the Ronald McDonald House of the 4 states, volunteers from Lazy Boy Furniture of Neosho and Safe Flight Auto Glass came together to help with the maintenance.
We're helping make the place look good with the mulch and, sprucing it up, just making it presentable when the families do come in. They're like, oh yes, this is a beautiful place, and they actually have a good experience right before they walk in. And from what I've seen on the inside, I mean, it's beautiful here. These efforts have a huge impact for the Ronald McDonald House. It gives the family the peace of mind of having a welcoming place to stay while caring for their child. Taylor Johnson, whose identity wishes to be protected, shares her family's story.
That means a lot. That's, they do a lot for the community, and it's great that people volunteer to help do things around this place.
Some employees have personal connections with the house as well.
Because I know the impact of this place does for families, and I wanted to do something as well.
What a warm act of kindness from these two outstanding companies. Here, even the smallest details make the biggest impacts that will last a lifetime. Reporting in Joplin, Jasmine Knight, KOAM News.
Taylor Johnson had twin nieces in the NICU, and her family utilized the Ronald McDonald House while they were hospitalized. The twins, now 18 and graduating high school, say they couldn't be more grateful for Ronald McDonald House and the volunteers' help. The Shoal Creek Conservation Center partnered with Wildcat Glades to host a nature walk for children. Guests were encouraged to dress up in their favorite costume and meet some of their favorite characters as they learned about important concepts in conservation.
So along the trail, they're going to encounter many different characters representing different elements of the nature they might find here. So they're going to run into Hawkwoman, who of course represents our hawks and our raptors. They're going to run into Batman, who is representative of our caves and our bats.
Some of the lessons taught included how to avoid littering and how to prevent animal endangerment. Coming up, why T-Mobile users need to prepare for phone bills to increase next month. Plus, we hear from a social psychologist about the dangers of cell phone use in the classroom. If you're a T-Mobile customer, you're advised to take a close look at your next phone bill. The major wireless carrier is running a test in which it automatically switches some customers to more expensive rate plans. The change affects customers on older unlimited plans such as T-Mobile One, Simple Choice, and Magenta 55 Plus. All those customers will be migrated to T-Mobile's 5G network plan, which starts at $75 per month per phone line. Up to 95% of teens own a cell phone, and kids can receive about 500 notifications a day, many during school hours, making it hard for them to concentrate. Meg Oliver spoke to a social psychologist who calls the problem worse than vaping and takes us inside one school that decided to do something about it.
For students at Newburgh Free Academy in New York, the first assignment of the day, locking their phones in pouches made by the company Yonder for 7 hours, including lunch. It was a bit of a shock for some students when the policy was introduced 4 years ago.
I was ready to start a petition, bring it to the principal, stop it real fast.
But no one signed 17-year-old Tyson Hill's petition, and now he loves attending a phone-free school.
Why is this approach better?
I mean, coming from a school where it was banned but it wasn't implemented, I was still using my phone. I was still on my phone.
Here, students walk with their heads up in the hall, socialize and laugh in the lunchroom, and focus on what teachers like Dennis Marr are saying.
That's the beauty of this.
It's a game changer. Yeah, it's night and day. I saw kids' faces again.
According to the CDC, in the 10 years leading up to the pandemic, feelings of persistent sadness and hopelessness, as well as suicidal thoughts and behaviors, increased by about 40%, while test scores, especially in math for grades 4 and 8, saw the biggest decline on record. While there's debate on whether technology, including phones, deserves much of the blame for these trends, social psychologist Jonathan Haidt says it's the only explanation.
So it wasn't the pandemic that did this to us. This was all starting in the early 2010s, and the only explanation anyone can offer for why this happened all over the world is the phones.
He says in 2010, most teenagers had flip phones they used for texting. But between 2010 and 2015, smartphones changed the landscape, inundating people with notifications, group chats, and social media.
Smartphones are basically kryptonite for learning. If kids have access to a phone, they will text. They will check their social media. They will not pay attention.
At Newburgh Free Academy, students lock up their phones and leave them in the classroom all day.
It's amazing to see kids come to school and not have to worry about that phone going off and a video being posted of them fighting in the bathroom or them being bullied by someone else on social media.
Yonder pouches cost between $25 and $30 per student. Haidt says while they aren't foolproof, it's an easy solution for a generation in the midst of a mental health crisis.
This was a disastrous experiment that we began in the early 2010s. We didn't know any better then. We know better now.
Meg Oliver, CBS News.
The technology isn't new, but the company Yonder estimates they saw a 150% increase in schools using them in 2023, with more than 2,000 schools participating. Changes are coming to school book fairs after several states passed laws limiting discussions of race and gender in schools. Scholastic announced its fairs will now have a separate section for books covering race, gender, and sexuality. Those titles will be in the Share Every Story, Celebrate Every Voice catalog. The catalog features 64 titles and lets schools choose which books to include. Schools in all 50 states have ordered books from the catalog. A new California law is looking to make cursive part of the school curriculum once again. Under the new law, cursive will be taught from first grade through sixth. Proponents say aside from a practical tool, cursive is also great for learning. The new California law goes into effect in January. Cursive hasn't been a school requirement since 2010. A little later, the Pitt State Gorillas take on the Northwest Missouri Bearcats on the road. John Dales will have the highlights in sports.
And we're tracking a storm system that's going to bring a lot of rain to the area. I'll have the forecast when we come back. Well, we have had a beautiful day across the 4 states to start off the weekend with lots of sunshine and very warm temperatures, especially for the middle to latter part of October. Let's start out this morning at Indigo Sky Casino and Resort in Seneca, Missouri. And as we start the motion, you can see mostly fair skies this morning, and then some clouds started to roll in this afternoon, just some high thin cirrus clouds. And that's in anticipation ahead of the next storm system with lots of moisture that's starting to stream up from the south and west. We made it up to 86 today, which was only 3 degrees away from the record. And of course, we were way above the normals of 69, and we're way behind on the rainfall still at this time. And taking a look at the temperatures this afternoon, not only was Joplin way above normal, but check out some of these temperatures out to the west. 16 degrees above normal this afternoon, and a little bit off to the east, we saw temperatures still above normal with around 7 degrees above normal. Right now in Joplin, we're sitting at 66, it's still above normal. East-northeast wind at 5, dew point is 48, so the humidity is increasing just a little bit, 52% on the hour. Let's take a look at the radar. It's pretty much all clear right now, but we do have a big storm system to talk about as we head towards the first part and middle part of the week. Right now, we have moisture associated with Hurricane Norma, or what's left of her. As that moves up towards the north and east, that's going to combine with the storm system dropping into the south and west, and these two systems together is going to spread quite a bit of rain across our area, especially as we go into Wednesday. But notice there's yet another storm system back to the west, and that system is going to drop in as we head towards the latter part of the week into next weekend. So we have several chances of showers and storms in our forecast, but we need it because we've been way behind on rainfall for so long of a period of time. We're going to start to see the rain moving in by Tuesday morning, and rainfall amounts are going to be light. But then by Wednesday morning, we're going to already see about an inch of rain out towards the west with a pretty good area of showers and thunderstorms across our entire area. And look at these rainfall totals by the time we get into Thursday evening. Several inches, and that is welcome news, especially for the folks in southeastern Kansas. Temperatures tonight are going to be in the upper 40s to the north and east, 50s elsewhere. Then tomorrow, we're going to start out with mostly fair skies with temperatures in the low to mid 80s. Then as we go into Monday morning, we're going to see the moisture increasing. Lows will generally be in the 60s. And then Monday afternoon, we're going to see highs once again in the low 80s with south winds pumping up the moisture. Then as we go into Tuesday morning, notice the clouds and the precipitation start advancing in from the south with lows in the 60s. And then as we go through the day on Tuesday, a better chance of showers and storms out to the west with highs in the upper 60s to lower 70s. Then on Wednesday, you can see the rain still continuing off and on during the morning. And then in the afternoon, we're going to see a little bit changing in the precipitation totals, especially out towards the west, with highs generally in the 60s and 70s. And over the next 7 days, Wednesday's not the only day we're looking at rain. We're looking at another round of rain possible on Thursday morning. A little bit of a break maybe on Friday and Saturday, but more rain comes in on Sunday. So it's going to be a little bit of a wet week, but like I said, I think we deserve it.
Absolutely. Thanks, Sam. Zookeepers, staff, and animal lovers are mourning the unexpected death of an elephant at the St. Louis Zoo. The elephant named Ronnie died last week after a small dog got loose and agitated its herd. Tracy Hinson reports on what we now know about the incident.
It was not anybody's fault. There was a loose dog, but it just wasn't anybody's fault.
Joining me from a veterinary mission in Nicaragua, Dr. Stu Robson from Wildwood told me that stress may have caused the 27-year-old Asian elephant Ronnie to die.
They did a necropsy, which is like an autopsy on animals, and there's some preliminary indications that there was possibly an underlying heart condition.
The zoo says Ronnie was inside eating dinner when a stray dog ran near the elephant barn outside. The area is not open to the public. The elephant that was outside got nervous and started to call for the others. Even though she was inside and never saw the dog, Ronnie called out for the others and collapsed.
From the initial indications, it appears that caused a cardiovascular event and the elephant passed.
One thing that did surprise people was how a large animal could be afraid of such a little animal, but to the vet we talked to, it wasn't a surprise at all.
Very surprised, of course. Very. That was shocking. Yes.
It is not uncommon. There's a fight or flight kind of mechanism that all animals have.
For elephants, their response can be mixed.
If there's something that's not normal in their environment that startles them, that can trigger that. And if you have some underlying cardiovascular disease, sometimes the consequences of that can be quite devastating.
The zoo's elephant care and animal health team tried to revive Ronnie. She died Friday afternoon.
Still ahead, Nevada High School softball faces Kearney in the state quarterfinals. And Pitt State football looks for its first round win at Northwest Missouri in a decade. John Dales has those stories and more up next in sports.
Pitt State football hasn't lost a conference game since November of 2021. The Gorillas enter this afternoon on a 19-game MIAA winning streak. They go on the road to Northwest Missouri, but the Gorillas are also looking to snap a long streak. Because Pitt State playing at Northwest Missouri, Gorillas looking for their first win there in Maryville since 2014. In the first quarter, Gorillas driving. Chad Dodson fires down the field. Colby Katzis is there for the catch. Big pickup and a first down. Later on, we're still scoreless, still that first drive. Pitt State going for it on fourth down. Dodson back to pass, but his throw incomplete. Sails over the head of Dallas Bond. Turnover on downs. Gorillas go on defense. Their defense forces a punt, but Northwest, in attempting that punt, it's a fake, and it doesn't work out. Tipped, and it's a turnover on downs. Pitt State takes over and takes advantage. A good field position. Ty Pennington churns his way in from 3 yards out. 7-0 Gorillas. They strike first. Later in the half, Pitt State with the ball again. Dodson showing off what he can do with his legs. Picks up a first down and a little bit more. Slides down after moving the chains. That leads to a goal line play. Noah Hernandez takes it in from a few yards out. 14-0 Pitt State at that point. They lead 21-0 at halftime. Into the fourth quarter now, same score. Northwest Missouri needs to do something, but not that. Pass intercepted by Bryce Johnson. He returns it, the freshman, all the way down to the 10 before he's knocked out. Northwest students have seen enough. They're filing out, but the Gorillas not finished yet. Ty Pennington follows his lineman in, scores his third touchdown of the day. Pitt State controls from start to finish. Gorillas go on the road. They beat Northwest 28-7.
Well, proud of our team, proud of our coaching staff and our players. Just a lot of hard work paid off today. Guys went out and executed good game plans, and our guys played extremely hard.
Missouri Southern wins big as well. Lions go on the road to Lincoln. They win 63-5. First win in the month of October for Atiba Bradley's group. By halftime, Moso had already surpassed 350 yards of offense. By the end of the game, 6 turnovers for the Lions defense. They're back at it next week at home against Central Missouri. Over to local softball, Nevada is the champion of the Class 4 District 6 tournament after winning a thriller this past Monday against Webb City. That sends the Lady Tigers to the state quarterfinals this afternoon at home. Defending Class 4 state champs, Kearney come to Bushwhacker Field for the quarterfinals. Tigers trying to move on to the semis. Top of the first, bases are loaded. Peyton Eaton gets a fly ball into center, easy pop fly, but also an easy opportunity for Kearney to tag and score the first run. It's 1-0. Lady Tigers struggled at the plate in this one. Alyssa Quick in the circle for Kearney. She gets back-to-back strikeouts in the second inning. That ended the frame. 3-0, Kearney on top in the third inning. That's when Riley Van Emmerich hammers this pitch to deep right center field and gone. That homer puts the Lady Bulldogs on top 4-0 at that point. Nevada never really could get a true comeback effort started. Quick strikes out 12, 2 of which were in the 7th inning. Only allows 4 hits, and Nevada's season ends in the quarterfinals. Lady Bulldogs win that one 5-1. Volleyball district playoffs continuing as well. Webb City and Carl Junction each won their quarterfinals and semifinals to send both of them to the championship today. Webb City looking to avenge a regular season loss to Carl Junction, win its third straight district title. First set, Lady Bulldogs start out hot. Kylie Scott attacks. Lady Cardinals unable to defend it. CJ up 11-8. Set point now in the first. Scott again sends it over. Then Sophia Crane over to Savannah Crane, and then Kira Long goes long and out of bounds. Lady Bulldogs win the first set. They're up 1-0. Stays close into the second. Webb City looking to tie things up. Aubrey Lassiter comes in and gets the kill there. Cardinals take the second set. We're all tied up at 1 apiece. Webb City getting some momentum now, up 24-17 in the third. Savannah Crane bumps to Mia Lenker, who sends it over top for the kill. That's another set going to Webb City. They got a 2-1 lead. Now match point, 24-14. Savannah Crane bumps to Aubrey Lassiter, and that'll do it. Bulldogs can't defend the kill. Webb City Cardinals avenge their regular season loss. They win their third straight district title. Cardinals go on to the state quarterfinals next week, where they await the winner of Union and Jefferson City. And also, I got to say, I was at that Nevada softball game. That's a really good team. They just fell victim to a really good player on the other side. They shouldn't hang their heads. Great season for them.
Tough break for them, but well said. We'll be right back. Well, Sam, you said it best. It's a wet week ahead.
Yes, that's exactly right. We have another nice day tomorrow and then on Monday, but then the rain starts on Tuesday and continues through all the rest of the week. But we need the rain. And then extending it out, we have another shot of rain next weekend. So lots of rain to go around for everybody.
Lots of rain sounds good. We definitely need it.
Absolutely.
And getting cooler temperatures as we head
That would be nice too.
into November
I know,
shortly.
it's not that far away.
Yeah, absolutely. Final sports note.
Yeah, the Chiefs at home tomorrow against the Chargers, trying to win another one, and then Pitt State back at home next week, trying to go to 9-0.
That'll be exciting. And who are the Chiefs playing tomorrow, did you say?
Chiefs play the Chargers tomorrow.
Chiefs play the Chargers, so division rivals.
Yes.
All right, that'll be exciting. Well, that's our time for now. Thanks for making us part of your night.